Hello and welcome to episode number 68 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be the Friday week for October 2020 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. It is the final episode of weekly TV in the India tour, the second from last show in general, as we do this, and we also find out the finalists of the Mae Young Classic 2020. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show.
Your beliefs are there for holding. Wait patiently to hear whatever changing minds are showing. The week will come. All they wanted was violence, to put the chains and divide us. It's all the worst that's inside us. We'll bring on the violence, the violence.
Shayna Baszler of all people. It's not like an actual in-ring segment, but it's like they did those things where they had like the pre-show promos where there was people talking in the back, and like they'd all say like what's going on. So we cut into SmackDown and Shayna Baszler's in the back, and she says it was all some big fairy tale when Paige came out of retirement for SummerSlam, and she had a match for the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley. And sure, she can sit back here and she can agree it was a great story. But Paige has made one grave mistake here, and that is that she's decided she's going to try and get into the ring with Shayna Baszler at Evolution. And that's only going to end one way for you, Paige, and that's not the way you think it's going to be. It's not some Cinderella story. You're getting into the ring with somebody like you've never been in the ring with before, and it's only ever going to end with you being put straight back on the shelf. This time, probably for good. Then cut to the ring for our first piece of action. In a 51 rated match, we get the tag team title match, Death from Above versus the Usos, where the Usos defeat Death from Above in 14 minutes and 8 seconds. Jimmy Uso pins Lindsay with a double super kick, and the Usos retain the SmackDown tag team titles. 44 for Jimmy, 41 for Jay. The Lucha House Party, the Death from Above members, for some reason, outscoring the Usos, which I guess they're more over in India. I guess people that I've been pushing during the actual game have gained more pop in India than the people that started more popular than them. I don't know why, but apparently they are. But the Usos defend the titles and they move on. At the minute, looks like it's going to be another encounter with their old foes, the New Day, at Survivor Series. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez cut a promo. And Dakota's like, yeah, obviously, I'm a woman of this generation. Of course, I grew up. I idolised Trish Stratus and I idolised Leah. So obviously, but on Monday, the inner child in me was screaming with that excitement at the fact that I get to wrestle them for the tag team titles at Evolution. But here's the thing. I'm choosing to ignore what my inner child is saying to me, because Trish Stratus and Leah have stuck their nose in business that does not concern them by coming out here and trying to win the titles that she's made relevant. Her and Raquel have made them relevant. And at Evolution, it'll be nice for her to know that she can put this fantasy, this childhood fandom that she once had to bed once and for all, because she's going to prove that she's better than those that she grew up trying to replicate. And it will be, of course, Trish and Leah against Dakota and Raquel for the tag team titles at Evolution. Just a random match here, two former tag team partners. Shelton Benjamin defeats Chad Gable in 7:49 with a pay dirt, 41 for Shelton, and a 45 for Chad Gable. I don't think I skipped anything. Okay, no, I didn't. That's fine. Keith Lee comes to the ring after that, and he says, look, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to waste anybody's time here. I know Paul Heyman's in here tonight, and I know Brock Lesnar's here tonight. So let's bring them out here, and let's sell this goddamn match that we have tomorrow night. So Paul Heyman comes out alone, and he says that Brock Lesnar is currently still on his way to India. He went back home to his farm in Canada, and he has not been coming out here until he feels necessary, like at Super Showdown. But he says, Keith, it's not too late, by the way, because you've really might have bitten off more than you can chew here. It's not too late for you to back out of this match with Brock Lesnar. And Keith's like, well, there's no chance in hell I'm going to be backing out of this match. That's when Heyman, he smiles, he does that sinister Paul Heyman grin. He's like, I was hoping you'd say that. And then that's a swerve when Brock Lesnar slides in from behind Keith Lee. He is here after all. He takes him down with a big clothesline. Maybe gives him a German suplex or two, and then drops him with the F5 and tops him out on the spot over Keith Lee's down body to sell their big man encounter in 24 hours at Super Showdown. 40 rated match. Angel Garza defeats Tucker in 6-4-3-5 with a wing clipper. He gets a 50 and a 38 for big man Tucker Knight, who has taken the fall on behalf of his king here tonight. Ahead of their title match at Super Showdown, which we're going to try and hype here. Corbin jumps into the ring. He tries to lay out Angel Garza with the End of Days. And then he does the thing like where he pulls you back for the End of Days, and then the guy flips over. And he flips into the position to lay Corbin out with the wing clipper. He hits that. He takes the Universal Champion down to along with his, Knight, Tucker Knight. And then he looks at the Universal title on the floor. He does the belt around the waist motion, saying that he's coming tomorrow night to take that belt off of the king. Tag team match. Just a nice little showcase match for both teams. It is the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, against Path of the Dragon. And the Street Profits defeat Path of the Dragon in 10:09. Montez Ford pins Humberto Carrillo with a frog splash. 36 for both of the Street Profits. 32 for Carrillo and a 38 for Akira Tozawa. And then cut backstage where Nikki Cross is alone in the backstage area. She's cutting a promo on Alexa Bliss. She says that it's been over a year since their friendship started, and that whole time she was told that when she came up here to Raw and to SmackDown that she'd be nothing on her own. And that she'd latched on to Alexa Bliss because Alexa was a known commodity, and Alexa was the favourite of the people, the higher-ups, so that being around Alexa Bliss would be enough for her to sort of cement herself as a staple here on SmackDown. And that if they was to ever come to a point where their friendship would simmer, then they'd know that Nikki would have nothing, because Alexa was the one propping her up, instead of just spending time with her best friend. But then she's like, no, but Alexa, you can bring Nia Jax with you on Sunday, and I'll bring Ember Moon for this tag team match. And in 48 hours, we're going to find out who was whose crutch, because I don't feel like you were my crutch. I feel like you were holding me back, and I'm coming to beat your ass at Evolution. So, very heated promo by Nikki Cross ahead of their big tag team match at the pay-per-view. Speaking of big matches at Evolution, we get a Sasha and Bayley promo, sort of just hyping up like their history, all the matches they've ever had with each other, Bayley beating Sasha in NXT, and Sasha not really being able to get that win back one-on-one, and how it all's going to come to a head in the main event of Evolution this Sunday. Will it be Sasha finally getting one over on her old best friend, or will Bayley once again be too much for Sasha to handle? Before an interesting 44 rated tag team match, it's a Champions versus Challengers showcase for Evolution, and it is the team of Rhea Ripley, Kaylee Ray and Sasha Banks, the champions, defeat their challengers Allie James, Tegan Nox and Bayley. Rhea Ripley pins Allie James with the Riptide. 42 for Bayley, 38 for Tegan, 19 for Allie James, 49 for Sasha, 32 for Kaylee Ray and a 51 for Rhea Ripley. So we're borrowing, obviously, the NXT UK and the NXT champions for this one show, because they're going to be on Evolution, and we may as well get them on here, get them known to the audience before their matches this Sunday. We then cut to Michael Cole and Roman Reigns, and Michael Cole's sit-down interview with Roman Reigns, and it's going over the whole segment last week where Bray Wyatt had challenged Roman Reigns to wrestle The Fiend in an Inferno match at Super Showdown. And Michael Cole asks him, how are you feeling being 24 hours away from, obviously, being in an Inferno match with The Fiend, which is a far from enviable situation for any human being to be in. This dangerous match with this dangerous competitor. And Roman says, he can't lie, I can't pretend that it doesn't make me nervous, because who knows what I'm in for. It's the Fiend and it's an Inferno match. These two things can only end badly for whoever's in the ring with him. But he needs to put this to bed once and for all. He needs to put Bray Wyatt down. He needs to put the Fiend down. And if that means he has to be set on fire, then so be it. A 75 rated main event, which is actually really good for India. We are ending weekly TV on a high. And is the heel team is the heel team of SmackDown World Cup representatives Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles defeating Daniel Bryan and Mustafa Ali in 1818. And we gave AJ Styles the win. I feel like he's been jobbing a bit recently and felt like he needed to get a nice win. So he pins Daniel Bryan with a phenomenal forearm. 45 for Mustafa Ali, 84 for Bryan, 65 for Nakamura, and a 70 for AJ Styles. So that is the go-home show for SmackDown. AJ Styles and Nakamura with momentum. I believe is it AJ versus Bryan, round 1? Or... yeah, I think it is, yeah. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, round 1. And Nakamura and Ali. Also, we're just hyping up the WWE World Cup for the SmackDown end. The show gets to 59 with Lost Pop. So I guess the little warming up period is over, but thank fuck that this was the last TV show in India. And I've bought special sets and special bands to try and make sure that Super Showdown does not get this sort of rating. And then after that, we're finally out of this hellhole. No offense to any Indians, but we have technically one more weekly show left to do, and that is the semi-finals of the Mae Young Classic. The final weekly episode of the Mae Young Classic opens with the first semi-final match. The two women in it, Kylie Rae and Sareee, hyping up why they both want to be the winners of this Mae Young Classic. Of course, with Sareee, she's got the whole story of how there was a Japanese woman who won the first one and how there was a finalist in the second one. So to complete the trifecta of Japanese women's finalists, she needs to win this match. Kylie Rae, of course, has her whole backstory about being in AEW without naming them, going to Impact, sort of never being able to really make it on to the WWE big stage, and this is her one chance to make her mark in her first real opportunity in WWE. And the final, we'll see Kylie Rae advance if she beats Sareee in 11:32 with super kick. Kylie Rae gets a 30 and a 32 for Sareee. Thank fuck that wasn't anyone important. Well, basically we just get a random match here. And it was a mistake because it's made some of my fuse lose heat, but just wanted to showcase a bunch of women because we needed another match on the show because there's only 2 Mae Young Classic matches. And it's Sonya Deville, Dakota Raquel, Nia and Alexa defeating Naomi, the Ninja Warriors and Sugar Rush when Dakota pinned Candy Floss with a scorpion kick. Xia Brookside strained her calf, which is fine because she's probably going to be in the Tag Team Battle Royal, the Women's Tag Team Battle Royal, but mainly she's not in an important actual match at the pay-per-view, and it's only a strain, so she can work through it anyway. Sonya Deville 39, 33 for Alexa, 20 for Nia, 34 for Raquel, 39 for Dakota, 28 for Candy Floss, 29 for Xia, 24 for Kaden, 29 for Casey, and 28 for Naomi. Thank you, Mark Henry. Promos from Jordynne Grace and Melissa about how they both want to win the Mae Young Classic. Melissa, she's been wrestling for decades, but has never made it to WWE. This is her one chance, her first chance to really make it here. Jordynne Grace, a superstar on the rise. She was always destined to make it to WWE, and she's looking to show the world why. And the winner and facing Kylie Rae in the final. In a 35 rated match, apparently there wasn't 2 people here they didn't give a shit about, so that's nice. But Melissa defeats Jordynne Grace in 12:53 of a Kudo driver and advances to the Mae Young Classic 2020 final. Melissa gets a 35 and a 33 for Jordynne Grace. Then onto the stage comes Kylie Rae with Stephanie and Triple H and the trophy, and we get that screenshot of the trophy in the middle. Kylie Rae on one side and Melissa on the other side, and they're sticking their fists up at each other. And Triple H and Stephanie in the background, applauding their great final. that will take place this Sunday at Evolution. 37 rated segment for show, even whatever, doesn't really matter. It's a B show, and that is the final weekly TV show here from the India tour. But India will still get one more show on this whole tour, and that is next time for a nice number 69 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. We will see the first of the two pay-per-view extravaganzas, Super Showdown, live from India. And hopefully I'll see you then.